late-night family entertainment for your bank holiday Monday on Thames. At 11:30, join Richard Stilgoe.
Black Forest Gatto is good for you with E407 and E102.
With special guest comedian Maureen Lipman and singer-songwriter Peter Skellen. The Richard Stilgoe Show, bank holiday Monday night entertainment at 11:30 on Thames.
And this is Thames from London. We now go over to ITN.
The news from ITN.
British police go to Holland to track down the IRA killers. Legionnaire's disease at the BBC, 16 cases are now feared. Prince Charles' concern as a polo opponent takes a tumble. And for the 5th time, Steve Davis is snooker's world champion. Good evening. A team of top British anti-terrorist experts has arrived in Holland tonight to help track down the IRA gang who killed 3 servicemen yesterday. They were called in by Dutch police who've admitted they still have no leads. A spokesman there said the killers came from nowhere and vanished into thin air. Senior airman Ivan Lewis, who was injured in the attack, has had his foot amputated. He's said to be very seriously ill.
Security measures have been stepped up at all military bases near the border with Holland as the search continues for the IRA terrorists responsible for the attacks. A state of black alert has been declared, which means all cars are being searched and servicemen asked to maintain vigilance.
We're all in this terrorist thing together. We must watch out for ourselves and for each other. Even when we're out on the town, we've got to stay alert. That way, we'll stay alive.
Notices have been set up at the border crossings advising British military personnel not to enter Holland. The large numbers of servicemen stationed with their families at bases near the border means they will always present a vulnerable target to the IRA.
Soldiers use the pub and they go there every week. All you need is someone to watch you for a few weeks and they know exactly what you're doing. So, you know, now I won't go to the clubs, I won't go to places where soldiers hang out. I'll just go out with the wife and have a meal somewhere and go. You know, it'll be a different place every week. I won't go to the same club anymore.
It's been announced today that the issue of distinctive British forces number plates is to be reviewed. It's feared they're an easy giveaway for the terrorists. The 2 men who survived this machine gun attack were transferred today to a military hospital in West Germany. The surgeon who first operated on them described their condition.
Well, it didn't say much in the beginning. They were quite dazed, stunned, and one of them didn't even know he was shot. And he discovered it at the time he was here. Both of them were wounded with many fragments, you know, not only with bullets.
Forensic experts sifting through the wreckage of the car bomb were today joined by 2 explosives experts from the British police. The results of the tests aren't expected for several days. The Dutch police coordinating the search for the terrorists submitted tonight to no firm leads so far. They don't know how the IRA gang got here. They don't know how the gang got away. They still don't have any clear eyewitness statements or any description of the attackers. David Chater, ITN in Holland.
More than 1,000 Israeli troops are reported to have crossed into Lebanon tonight to track down Palestinian guerrillas. An army spokesman said the search is being carried out in the security zone in southern Lebanon. Other reports say there's also been heavy shelling of villages further north.
Israeli forces are engaged in what's reported to be a limited operation in an area of South Lebanon. It's said to be where Palestinian guerrilla groups have recently been active in launching cross-border attacks against Israel. 2 Israeli soldiers, one a lieutenant colonel, were killed last week during a fierce gun battle with 3 Palestinian infiltrators who were themselves killed. That was the 11th attempt to infiltrate Israel since a Palestinian hang glider pilot carried out a suicide raid last year and shot dead 6 Israeli soldiers at an army base. Since then, Palestinian guerrilla groups have vowed to step up their attacks on Israel to support the Palestinian uprising. And last month's assassination of the PLO's Abu Jihad helped pave the way for reconciliation between feuding Palestinian groups. Brent Sadler, ITN, Israel.
Doctors are concerned tonight that an outbreak of Legionnaire's disease at the BBC in London could become very serious. 3 cases are now confirmed, another 13 are suspected.
Engineers and environmental health officers worked throughout the day at Broadcasting House in the centre of London. On the roof of the building, all ventilation systems and air conditioning ducts were being checked and disinfected after 3 men were admitted to hospital, all confirmed victims of Legionnaire's disease. Health officials took water samples away from Broadcasting House and surrounding BBC properties for testing. As news of another 13 suspected cases of the disease spread, staff inside the building were officially given details of the outbreak.
I would think there's a fair amount of concern amongst my colleagues. As you know, it's all air-conditioned, studio-wise.
This evening, Radio 4 broadcast details of the infection and the action being taken by the BBC.
Disinfection work has been carried out at Broadcasting House. The 2 cooling towers serving the building and its extension have been closed down and will not be returned to service for a few days.
The health checks on equipment here are still far from complete. Public health officials will be back in the morning to take more water samples, not just from BBC equipment, but also from water cooling systems on other business properties in the area.
The National Union of Seamen says it now expects to have its assets seized tomorrow for breach of a High Court injunction over secondary picketing. The dispute hit more ports today, but some services to the continent did run.
The Pride of Bruges sailed in with the sun this morning.
Pride of Bruges, port control, will just close up slowly. As soon as he's clear, I'll bring you in.
She and her sister ship, the Pride of Kent, had crossed to Zeebrugge overnight. At the unloading ramp, signs that P&O was still unable to mount a full service. The cargo holds were barely half full. 2 hours later, though, the ferries were away again. But as they left, the NUS rejected company claims that they'd broken the strike. 3 of the crew members who returned to the picket lines warned more would follow.
My father went to sea. And it's you know, you just can't do that. You can't do that to your own kind.
To split a community and people and hatred, there's no price.
Later, the union went to P&O's Dover headquarters with written evidence of growing support. 250 crew members had signed documents asking to leave the company because of new working conditions. But there were angry scenes as P&O officials prevented cameramen from filming the handover.
We're up here with Mr. Bennett.
Out! Robert Hall, ITN, Dover.
Prince Charles was involved in a bruising collision on the polo field today, which gave his opponent a broken arm. Mr. Somerville Learmouth was thrown from his horse after his stick became entangled with the prince's.
It was the start of the polo season. The Prince of Wales arrived at Windsor with the Princess of Wales and Prince William. But what started out as a relaxing afternoon quickly turned sour. At the beginning of the second half, Prince Charles mounted his horse and galloped off with another player, Somerville Learmouth, seen in the front of the picture here, a member of the opposing team. What happened next isn't absolutely clear, but it appears that the players' sticks hooked together. Mr. Learmouth's pony tripped, and out of the camera's eye, he was thrown clear at speed, landing on his shoulder.
Pony tripped.
The whistle was blown, the match halted as help arrived. With Mr. Learmouth in considerable pain, Prince Charles's confusion and distress was clear enough. St. John Ambulance Service moved Mr. Learmouth to hospital at Ascot, while Prince Charles recounted the incident to Major Ronnie Ferguson, the Duchess of York's father and the Prince's polo manager. Later, still looking distressed, he told Prince William exactly what had happened.
Now with news of tonight's World Snooker Final and all the other bank holiday sport, here's Giles Smith.
Steve Davis is world snooker champion again. In Sheffield tonight, he beat Terry Griffiths 18-11, the 5th time he's taken the top prize. Davis went into today's second session only drawing 8-all, but was soon in his most devastating form. In the 27th frame, he had a break of 116, and in the 28th, one of 123. In the 29th, Davis needed this difficult red to leave Griffiths needing snookers. Soon the Welshman, who was himself champion 9 years ago, conceded, and the man who is head and shoulders above the rest of his sport took the trophy and £95,000. In soccer, 3 sides with reason to celebrate tonight. Millwall go up to Division 1 for the first time in their history. Cardiff go up to the 3rd division, and Lincoln are back in league football after just 1 year's absence. But Alan Ball's Portsmouth are relegated from the 1st division after losing at home to Newcastle. Not only that, but their goalkeeper Andy Gosney could be in trouble after being reported by police for making gestures to the crowd during the match. In the playoff zone, it's between Chelsea and Charlton, who meet next Saturday. Chelsea lost 4-1 to West Ham, while Charlton got a vital point in a 1-1 draw with Spurs. Terry Venables didn't come to Spurs to be involved in relegation battles, but in the first half, Charlton made his team of superstars look ordinary. Former Spur Paul Miller almost threading through the bodies. And he must have wondered what was going on, as fullback Statham brought the best save of the half out of his own keeper. In the second half, against the run of play, a rare moment of Chris Waddle magic set up an offside-looking Steve Hodge. But Charlton were